Are you dealing with a lot of brain fog lately? Are you starting to forget things easily? Are you finding it harder to retain information? Are you just overwhelmed lately? If so, this video might be for you. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 things that you can do to start to declutter your mind so that you can start to gain clarity and actually start inching towards some of your goals. So grab your tea or grab your coffee, but definitely grab something to write with and something to write on, and let's get into it. I'm Tara, and today I'm going to show you 5 ways for you to minimize the brain fog that you've been dealing with, 5 ways that you can declutter your mind and start to gain clarity and start inching toward your goals. I haven't done a whole lot of videos. Actually, this is my very first video, so bear with me if you see me looking down. I do have notes and bullets because I want to make sure that I don't forget anything that I have for you today. So, number 1. Assess your current situation. What do I mean by that? One of the biggest things that keep us from inching forward is fear of not knowing. When we don't know exactly what's going on with us, it's hard for us to make a decision and move forward. And that can start with something really simple as minimizing your distractions. Some of what I'm going to go over with you might sound like it's not related, but trust me, trust the process. There is a method to all of this madness. So the first part of minimizing your distractions is your mail. When is the last time you checked your mail? If you have checked your mail, when is the last time you opened your mail? Do you have a pile of mail sitting on your kitchen table or on your kitchen counter or in a pile by your door? Start opening your mail. It might seem tedious, but it's really important to know what's coming to you, because there could be something good in there and there could be something not so good, and there could be just tons of junk, but we want to minimize our distractions. So it could be very simple as when you're done working, when you're done doing what you have to do, sit in your comfortable chair, grab a trash can, grab your pile of mail and turn on your favorite Netflix or streaming channel and watch some shows while you open your mail. When you open your mail, anything that is not necessary, anything that's spam or that's sent to the resident and not specific for you, obviously you want to discard that. Anything that is specific to you, anything that has to do with accounts that you have, banking information, credit cards, bills, anything like that, you want to move that over to the side, and we'll get back to that. And anything else that might be coming to you directly, if there's a way to unsubscribe from that, log on to that company website and see if there's a way to stop getting that information. That's one way to start to minimize a lot of this. It's so hard to stop spam mail, so I'm not even going to lie to you and say that there's a way to get rid of all of it, but you can minimize some of it. So trash mail, unimportant mail, get rid of that. At least you've opened it, you see what's in it, you've discarded it. The mail that is important to you, that is related to accounts, banking information, important information, I highly suggest that you have that come to you electronically. Some people prefer to have something in their hand, they prefer to open it, but if that's not you, and it doesn't matter either way, log on to those accounts at the actual website and see if there's a way for electronic delivery only. That's going to minimize some of that mail. And then just get in the habit of checking your mail and opening your mail when you receive it. Get rid of what you don't need, and that's going to get rid of some of that clutter. Going further, you definitely want to get a handle on your emails. If you are not really checking your emails because you feel like you're getting a whole lot of spam, you really want to get into your email box, spend an hour, maybe once or twice out of the week, and go through your emails and start getting rid of that spam. Get rid of the emails that you didn't request, report them as spam, unsubscribe where you can unsubscribe, anything like that. Get rid of it, because you want to mainly get what you need to see. And if you have 1,000 emails that you haven't opened and you're having to sort through all of that, it's going to be a lot. It'll take a little time when you unsubscribe or when you report something for it to stop coming in, but it will trickle down and you'll start to notice that you're mostly getting the items that you want to get. So you do have control. You want to regain control there. If you have multiple emails that you're managing, if you have multiple email addresses, reassess if you're using all of those. Like if you have an email address that you've had for 20 years and you haven't logged into it in 5 years, do you really need that? If you haven't logged into it in 5 years, you haven't sent anything out, what do you need that for? So I know it's hard to say goodbye, but say goodbye. Or if you feel like there's a way to repurpose it so that you don't have to create another one, that's totally fine. But you want to minimize. The other thing is social media. Turn off your notifications. I get it. Social media, it's entertaining. It keeps us away from the stuff that we gotta think about that's so serious throughout the day. You can get on there and watch funny videos. Totally fine. I'm here for it. I use it for business, and sometimes I just look online just to see what I'm missing or to get a funny joke from a video or whatever. That's fine, but you do want to turn off your notifications. The key is we want to be intentional about where we spend our time. And when you're getting notifications, or every time you pick up your phone, there's a notification that a video just got released or that someone liked your post or something like that, it is very distracting. It's very easy to get lost in that tunnel of social media. So if you're that type of person that has several social media apps all at once, I would say typically there's only one or two that someone's getting on regularly. If there's one you're not using regularly, go ahead and remove it from your phone. And if you want to get onto that social media site, you can go on intentionally through the internet. Or if you do have multiple, then yeah, just go into each application. The ones that say they're giving you notifications, it'll say through your phone, through the app, or through email. Definitely take the email off. I mean, I don't think that there's a reason you should have an email for that unless it's something like to your business and you want to know every time someone sends you a message or anything like that. But really, you should try to minimize those notifications as much as possible. So that's number one, assess your current situation, find out what's going on with you. This could take some time. These 5 steps that I'm going to go over with you today are not steps that I would expect anyone to get through in a week. If you do, that's great, but pick away at them. Whenever you have a goal, you want to break it apart and tackle it bit by bit. All right. Number 2, date yourself. Yes, date yourself. Date yourself. It doesn't matter if you're a woman. It doesn't matter if you're a man, if you're married, if you have a significant other. Date yourself. What do we do when we are dating someone or when we're in a relationship with someone and you're in those early stages? You want to know so much about that person. You want to get to know what they like. You want to know what makes them smile. You want to know what their interests are. When is the last time you did that for yourself? It's funny because a lot of relationship issues come from people not knowing themselves. So in the very beginning, you're so engulfed in learning about this person and wanting to be with this person and all the things, all the feels, right? And a lot of times we get to the point where it's like, oh, she does everything right or he does everything right. You get to know each other and then you start to do life together. And one of those people feel like they changed. But did they really change, or were they not, or were you not secure in being your whole self? And that doesn't mean that you were being fake. It doesn't mean that you were lying. It just meant that your priorities did not include you as much as it should have, right? So it's really important in any stage of your life to continue to get to know yourself, because that changes over time. And again, it doesn't matter if you're single or not. You should be intentional about spending time with yourself. So if you're able to, every once in a while, every couple of months, every couple of weeks, take an hour, take 2 hours, go do something nice, go see a movie, go take yourself out to dinner, you should definitely do that. And when you go out there, bring like a little pocket notebook and a pencil and Be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of things that come to mind. Be mindful of those things and jot them down. Yeah, it's simpler to just grab your phone, but again, you want to minimize distractions as best as possible. And as you get better at it, yeah, you can probably move on to taking notes in a notepad in your phone. But in the beginning, I think it's really important to write things down. Something happens when you write things down manually that makes you connect a lot better to your thoughts. And so I highly suggest that. Now, if the thought of going to the movies or going to sit down in a restaurant or a coffee shop or whatever in public all by yourself, if that scares you, or if that feels like, oh my gosh, people are going to look at me, this is really weird, hold tight. I've got something for you on number 4. We'll get there. So that is number 2, date yourself. Number 3, keep a schedule. You absolutely have to keep a schedule. I've heard people in the past say, oh, I don't want to keep a schedule. I like to be spontaneous. But let me tell you, it is absolutely the opposite. Keeping a schedule is so important because you need to schedule time for yourself. So when you keep a schedule, you need to schedule when you're going to be at work. Just like when you're at work and they have you down for 9 to 5 or 10 to 7, whatever your shift is, you want to make sure that you keep a schedule for yourself. So you'll have on your schedule family time, you'll have me time. You should have me time on your schedule every day, even if it's 30 minutes. You want to schedule sleep time because sleep is imperative. You want to make sure you're getting enough sleep. So once you start keeping a schedule every week, you'll start to see how much time you actually have and where your time is going. So if you have a task that you need to do, even if it's really small and you haven't gotten to it, you'll know that if I didn't get to that task today, I can push it over to Wednesday at this time. I should be able to fit an hour or 30 minutes in this space. So it doesn't just start to snowball and pile up into this big massive thing of I'm just not going to get anything done, because it's really easy to happen, especially if you have children, especially if you have a significant other, if you have a new business, if you're a business owner and you're trying to manage all the things. You may need multiple schedules for multiple purposes. It just depends, but it is very important that you are intentional with the time that you keep. If there's a show that you like to watch, if there's a show that you like to stream, mark out that time. If you know, hey, I'm going to watch Bridgerton and I need a mandatory 6 hours this week so that I can binge watch, mark it in your calendar. Mark it in your calendar. This is what I'm going to do from here to here. I am busy. And let your family know this is what you're taking care of right here. This is what I need for me to be my best self, to show up for you, and have those conversations. And you owe it to yourself. So you shouldn't feel guilty about doing what's best for you so that you can show up as your best self for the people that you love. Number 4. I said I was coming back for y'all. So again, if you are there thinking, I would date myself, but people are going to look at me, it's really weird. Oh my gosh. Number 4 is be honest with yourself about where you are seeking validation. Where are you seeking validation? If you did go out and sit at a restaurant and you got a table and you sat all by yourself and your intention is to be by yourself for this hour and a half or however long you're here, why does it bother you? What do you think people are thinking? And what makes you think that you know what they're thinking? That's something that we do, and it's called mind reading. You're not a mind reader, and I have dealt with this in the past. Instead of seeing yourself, you're seeing what you think people see in you. And honestly, they're probably living their own life, and some of them might be thinking, wow, I need to do that. But at the end of the day, we don't know. We have no idea. But you need to be honest with yourself, and you need to spend time with yourself so that you can ask those questions. You can feel those moments of, why do I feel weird? Why is this weird? Why is this not normal? And ask yourself, who am I seeking a validation from? If you post something online and no one responds, are you like super concerned, or do you just not care? Or, pay attention to how you feel, because a lot of times that takes up energy and time and space in your mind that you don't need in your life. And it doesn't mean that you'll never want to be online or anything like that, but you want to make sure that you're intentional about you and that you're giving yourself an opportunity to really get to know yourself so that you can cater to yourself more. And you'll find that once you do, things will get done a lot easier. You'll be a lot freer to be yourself when you're having conversations. You're not going to be thinking about what this person is thinking about you. You're going to be hearing what they said. You're going to be retaining that information. And it's a process. It takes time. Just be mindful that this part of the process can bring up a lot of stuff that you may not have noticed about yourself or that you may not have realized. And if it's a situation that you need help with, it is okay to reach out for help. Number 5, reflect on your progress and reward yourself. Reward yourself. That is so important, even if it's something really small. If you have a house that you need to get cleaned and it's Monday and you say, by Saturday, I want the house cleaned. Give yourself an area. Say, I'm going to clean out my closet. That's one of the 10 things I want to do to get this whole house cleaned. If by the time Saturday or Sunday comes, you haven't done anything but that one closet, you did something. You did something and you need to reward that. And your reward could be something that you do on your me time, or it could just be, hey, a pat on the back to myself because I finished part of it. And now I'm going to create a bigger goal and I'm going to do more next week, or I'm going to start tackling these things because I see it can be done. Once you start mapping out your time on your schedule for things that you need to do, it's all going to be clear. There's not going to be a pile of mail over here that may or may not be important. There's not going to be piles of emails. There's not going to be all of this unnecessary clutter, and you can just start to see a little more clearly. When you make room in your mind, it just makes it so much easier to retain information better and to start to inch toward those goals that are important for you. If you have any comments or questions, please put them down below. If there's anything that you wanted me to dive into a little bit deeper, if you have a request for a specific how-to video, please let me know. I am going to do my best to respond. And I do have some other videos linked to this one that could be helpful to you in several areas of the steps that we went through today. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and share. And thank you for joining.